All right, awesome. I'll be here. Cheers. Thanks. Yeah, this is good.
You play chess?
No, well, I do, but poorly. Not very good. Might as well get started. Yeah, might as well get started, and that way we can kind of see where we go, and then you guys can hit the party. What time does the party start?
9.
No.
No,
I
no,
think it's
10.
I think
10,
it's
10. It must be 10.
But yesterday
Yes.
it started at 10:30.
Oh, 10:30. Okay. And then it goes to like midnight or something?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So a couple things. This is a campfire chat, right? Is that the official title? Campfire?
I think it is.
Is it right? Campfire chat.
Campfire talks. Yeah.
Campfire talk. I have a YouTube channel going for anyone that was in my squad. I was a mentoring. So if you come to my desk when I'm mentoring, I have YouTube going, so you'll see a video,
sessions.
one-on-one
Yeah.
sessions. Sorry.
It's online.
It's online. It'll be all on YouTube. So this will be on
Nice.
YouTube as well. So you can see it later if you want. Yeah, is the mic ready? Yeah. Everybody ready? You have some snacks. You have some drinks. Red Bull. Oh, okay.
I
If
think we're
anybody,
ready.
everyone's good. So I have a book. So I wrote this book a year ago. It always makes things a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna go do my talk. It'll be pretty casual, but then we'll have some questions at the very end. Whoever I think is the best question gets my book.
Ooh.
So yeah, something, right? Something,
Intriguing.
something fun. It's about startup, my kind of journey in startup, both in Europe and Asia. Actually, I'll tell you a little bit more about my journey as well. So my name is Tak. I've been coming here to Startup 7 Summit for, hi there, welcome, Jordan, for ever since the beginning. So I've been here since I think 2016, I think was the very first one for who's been here since 2016? Have you? Sorry?
No.
Oh no, okay, all right. So I think it was around 2016. So I've seen the whole progression of things. It's always been nature inspired, which is one of the reasons why I enjoy kind of coming. I like coming out and going camping and stuff like that. And you're really lucky. How many of you, this is your first time? Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. Good size.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is double the size of last year. Everything's more organized. The tents are bigger. The food court is nicer as well. So you're very, very lucky. But it's almost like a startup. Again, 2016. What is it? 9 years ago,
Oh, it is.
right? When it was just camping. It was the same concept, camping, but now much more organized with friends from Uzbekistan, Russia. Yeah, there we go. Armenia, of course. Georgia. I'm from Hong Kong. And then we've got people from all
Friend
across.
From Czechia in our group.
From where?
From Czechia, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Okay. So it's absolutely fantastic, and that's great. So I've been coming here for a while. I used to live in Europe, and I used to run an accelerator called Techstars. So in London, we were the first European program. We were the first international program. Through Techstars, I invested in probably 4 cohorts, 40, 50 startups. So I was both in New York and London. And then I moved back to Hong Kong about 10 years ago. So I'm originally from Hong Kong, but I spent a lot of time in the US and the UK. And then I built the first AI accelerator about 10 years ago. So we've invested in almost 60 companies focused on AI literally 10 years ago, right? It was super early. Nobody really was doing anything in AI back then. So I'm kind of best known for that. So my accelerator is called Zeroth, and we focused on, again, those AI startups, 60 startups. Most of them are in Asia, so you probably won't know the name of it, but we were doing LiDAR companies, we did chatbots, we did chatbots based on WhatsApp, what else? Language LLMs, but more kind of very specific languages like Cantonese, Sichuanese, Mandarin. Across Korea, China, Japan, India. So that's kind of what I do. So investor, and then currently what I do is I advise a lot of startups. Again, just because of what I've done before. I've seen stuff in the US, I've seen stuff in Europe. and I've seen stuff in Asia. My previous life, way back when, was I started off actually in the United States Army. So I'm, again, originally from Hong Kong, but I served in the US Army. That was my first kind of career after graduating from university. So then that's kind of why I like camping. Brings me back to the Army days. I was stationed in Korea, so very similar to the environment, very cold, very nature inspired. So I also, I like defense startups. So that's something that it's close to my heart because I was in the defense industry, both in the Army, but also after in the Army, I worked in DC. So I worked a lot of defense consulting. So I've done a lot of things, US, Europe, Asia, defense, consumer, SaaS, blah, blah, blah. And then I also have a YouTube channel and a media company called The Automated, where I teach AI to people. So the one-on-ones, mentoring sessions, I tape on YouTube because I want to share what you guys are doing with other people, but it's also a chance for you guys to look back at your videos and try to learn from that. So yeah, I've done a lot of things. And so what I want to really kind of talk about is, where these talks are always tricky because it's who the audience and the type of thing. But hopefully I'll share a global perspective of where I think the world is going. I did some of that at my talk over there in the Big Tent yesterday. Some of you might have been there, so if you've been there, sorry if I'm repeating some of those things, but I kind of want to share with you where I think the world is going and how I think you can prepare for that world. So one of the things I think about, because I also have a podcast called The Download Show, and we talk all about geopolitics. So first of all, what's interesting for me is, again, as an Army soldier in my previous life, oh, there you go. Another recording. Is the amount of, from basically World War II, 1950s to now has been some of the most peaceful times in recent history. We're now moving to a world where basically lots of things are changing, right? So the US is retreating. Europe is trying to figure out where it stands. China is rising. Obviously, Russia is rising. India is rising. So we're moving into a phase what political scientists call multipolar world. And by the way, if there's any concepts you don't understand, raise your hand. I would rather you ask me and then you understand rather than trying to talk over you. I know some of these ideas might be a little bit, again, far out, but I want to tell you because I don't think anybody else will tell you, and I want you to have the benefit of the ideas. So we're moving into a world called multipolar world. So basically a multipolar world, it used to be called a unipolar world, which is the United States. Multipolar world is where there's lots of different poles, right? So you've got Asia as a pole, Europe as a pole, North America as a pole. So the world is now moving in different poles. Another kind of big trend is obviously AI. I've been investing in AI for 10 years, right? 10 years. How many people do crypto? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't do, I just kept it.
Oh, you kept it. Okay. I also had a fund during crypto. We did really, really well. But it's shit. No, okay, all right, oh yeah. No, honestly, you should hold some crypto, okay? Honestly, you should hold it because to my talk yesterday, one of my friends was saying, like, he supports a lot of startups in Ukraine. Once things start to go down and you have to leave, how do you take your wealth with you? Bitcoin, you have your keys, you go, you still have some of your wealth. This is a concept that's not like strange. Back in the day, I'm much older than you are, I'm 40s. People used to take gold, people used to take Rolexes, right? People used to have lots of watches because if they ever have to move, they would have that and they convert to cash and they have a life. Hence, it is important to actually have some crypto holdings, right? that aside, everything else, crypto sucks. Don't buy meme coins. Actually, NFTs, even more dog shit,
Yeah.
right? What's the FTT token? Good shit. There are sponsors. Good shit. Yeah, okay. Come on, we all know, right? Good shit. Yay. Right? Yeah. All right.
It's FTN.
Yeah. Right. It's recorded. So, but other than that, everything's dog shit. So don't do it. But we are in an AI world, and in the AI world, you see lots of different technologies sprouting. They can be wrappers. They can be open AI wrappers. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just new innovation is happening constantly, and the rate of change in technology has been faster than I even didn't expect it. Again, having invested 10 years ago, there was some movement. Now it's on steroids. You can actually build startups. Some of you are building startups with just like teams of 5 or 4 or 3, right? Or 2, right? You need a business guy, you need a developer. Maybe you don't even need a business guy. You can learn, you can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT should be everyone's co-founder. It is very true. Yeah, or Cursor or Perplexity. Yeah. It is everyone's co-founder. So your ability to build startups now with a smaller team, it's much smaller than before. That's one principle. The second principle is you also don't need venture capital because you can go and build and directly sell to customers and get cash. And once you get cash and revenue, you can take the money or you don't have to take the money, right? So the power has shifted, AI has changed everything, and it's moving very quickly. So that is making change. That's just, so literally everyone could have a startup, one at a time, can build anywhere and create a business for you that sustains your life, right? So now you have the power and VCs don't have the power. That has changed the whole fundamentals of startup. So that's another reason why things are changing. Third principle of changing, no, not so much. Sorry, those are the two ones. So it's multipolar, geopolitics, and AI. So we talked a little bit about the first thing is wealth, right? So when it comes to creating wealth, make sure that you do have some crypto because just in case you have to move. And in terms of crypto, honestly, it's Bitcoin and FTT, of course. Like, yay, right? Yeah, right. Good shit. Everything else is dog shit, right? But BTC, why BTC, right? How many people actually, for the crypto guys, you have BTC? Yeah, right? Okay. First question, you said no. Why not BTC?
Because I don't have so much money.
Oh, okay.
For investing in
But you can still buy like 0.000000000001. 0.0000000001. Yeah. Right.
like XRP,
Right.
Cardano.
Sure. So I get it. The only reason why I say Bitcoin is because out of having the hedge fund, so back then I was in London, Fedor mentioned Ethereum. So Vitalik came through London, and when I was there, and I had some friends that were early investors in Ethereum. So I've seen crypto, and I've seen crypto early days. I was an early skeptic because in my mind, which kind of turned out to be true, the power of crypto is the network effect. And Bitcoin surmounted that because there's enough people that believe Bitcoin. Ethereum, I think there is that belief as well. Everything else is flavor of the day. It could be, I've seen literally FTT coin, right? So FTX's coin was FTT, had its day, now not so much. Solana, so it moves. And that cycle, from what I saw, was about 5 to 6 years. It doesn't, crypto cycles, once it changes, it's very hard for old stuff to upgrade to the new cycle. I just haven't seen it. And we haven't seen that many cycles, but about 3 or 4 cycles. The only winner consistently has been BTC. And that hence why if the objective is to preserve wealth, That's why. If you want to speculate, right, and you want to go for those moonshots, right, sure, right, sure. But still make sure to get your 0.00001 Bitcoin, because you want to preserve your wealth just in case. So one of the speakers yesterday, Marvin, said 3 to 5% of your wealth in Bitcoin. I say at least 1%. At least 1%. But 3 to 5%. In BTC. The other kind of thing that we talked about yesterday was having equity, right? So obviously we all need cash to eat, right? To eat food and everything, right? You know, you can't use equity to pay for food, right? No one.
Even you're Elon Musk.
Even if you're Elon Musk. If you're Elon Musk, you find different ways to financially engineer into cash. But we're mere mortals, and as mere mortals, we need cash. But you want equity because you want your opportunity to be able to generate lots of wealth, right? And I'm not saying, you know, be a billionaire, right? But enough where you can have freedom, right? Where you have freedom. And so get equity. So what I mean by that is working in a startup where you have equity, or working for somebody, right? And get cash. It's important. And I understand in Armenia, cash is also important. Earlier ecosystems, probably Uzbekistan as well, cash. But also just, even if you get mostly cash, make sure you get some equity. Some. Just in case that becomes super big, you have some little bit. And also what I advise is also advise other startups. Work with other startups, right? And for your time, get equity as well, right? Because that is your opportunity to generate lots of wealth. And that's also freedom. Okay. Does that make sense on the equity part, the wealth part? Yeah. So crypto, cash, and equity. Okay. Then we talked about passports. So sovereign kind of identity. How many people have 2 passports?
From 2 different
Lucky one.
countries?
Yeah, from 2 different countries. Ah, lucky you. Okay, lucky you. Okay. If you can, right? As again, you guys are young, right? I don't expect you to have 2 or 3 or whatever, right? Unless you're, you know, not from here or your parents are Armenian and whatever, Canadian, right? So you have 2. You guys are young, but that's something you need to think about, to have that flexibility. To have that flexibility, right? To be able to go. Again, we don't know where the world's headed to. We don't know where the world's headed to. The powers are shifting. Geopolitics, multipolar geopolitics are shifting. So having more options is better. So how do you accumulate that, right? So look, if your parents weren't Armenian and Canadian, maybe you can't get that. But what you can do is, for example, you can work for a startup that is in Portugal or Lisbon, right? And try to accumulate a passport there. You can find a girlfriend or a boyfriend that has something, right? You can think about in your future as well, right? You can think about in the future, what are places you want to go, visit them, and again, try to find different positions. Again, this is a 10-year, 15-year horizon, right? So some of you might not even think about it until then, but I want to tell you now so that it's at least in your mind, and if it's an option, you can think about it. The reason why I want to emphasize that is because I used to be an American citizen, right? I was in the Army, but now I don't have one. But I still have 2 other passports. But even for Americans, Americans want to leave. And you're like, why? Why do Americans want to leave? Why do they want to not have their passport? It's the best passport in the world. Yeah, true. Well, exactly. Is it though? Is it though?
I think it's Singapore.
Depends. So this gentleman said Singapore. So your name is?
Vahe.
Vahev. Vahev said Singapore. I think it really depends. So the reason why I took out America is because America's global taxes, right? That's going to fuck you over. And what that means, global taxes, is any time you have more than 50% of a company, control of a company, you have to pay taxes. You have to file, you have to let RS know, and you have to pay. So Yeah, it was, well, even the filing was hard because I'm an entrepreneur. I have lots of companies. So I have to file every single thing. I have to change the filing of a local country. So I was in Hong Kong where the fiscal year is March. And I have to change it to year end because US is December. So I have to redo all the accounts, file that to IRS, right? And then I also get penalized. So not only do they fuck you once, they fuck you twice, right? And the reason why, that was my reason, but why a lot of people also are trying to leave the US is because obviously global, Trump. I didn't say it. It's good that you're off camera. No, but that's one. Also because the US has to finance, it's in debt, trillions of debt, billions of interest interest debt payments. How are you going to finance that? It's through taxes. Some of it through taxes, obviously. You could also print more money as well, but some of it through taxes. And so a lot of people are thinking, shoot, they're going to charge me more and more, and I'm getting a shittier experience. If you've been recently in the U.S., infrastructure sucks, roads suck, railways suck. Yeah, so yeah.
Isn't it good for economy if the country has a manager? Because it means it is investing this money in its infrastructure, in its people, in its business.
Sorry, your question was, is it good?
Isn't it good
Yeah.
if the country has a more debt? It
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
it takes this money and
Yeah.
investing is in its own.
Yeah. So yeah. So so the question was, is it good that if a country is in debt, doesn't it mean that the country is investing in its own country and infrastructure and that type of thing? Now, that is true, but they're two separate issues. So one issue is they're going into debt, why they're going into debt, and that money, what they're doing with the money. So for example, Japan is highly in debt, but they actually do spend a lot on infrastructure, right? So on the rails, on the train ecosystem is mostly private, but I think the rails are public. But they do spend it on their economy. Singapore also spends on their economy. China spends on the economy. But the US, they're going in debt, not on the infrastructure. So that's the difference. So they're going in debt buying McDonald's, right? Not buying infrastructure and investing in infrastructure, not investing in healthcare. So a lot of Americans are a combination of presidency, combination of accruing debt, are trying to leave. And even for Americans, it's a 2 or 3 year process, right? Because they need to find a new place, go settle, try to get a passport, then they try to get rid of it, which I did, right? So it's at least a 2 or 3 year process, even for people that have it, which is why, again, I'm telling you to maybe super early, but something to think about. Because of geopolitics, we need to be a little bit more flexible. The third principle I want to talk about, and as part of the talk as well, is personal branding. How many people take, let's say, whatever, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter seriously? 1, 2, 3. What platform are you on, sir, Fedor?
YouTube, Telegram, and LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn?
Instagram, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
We can sit
Telegram.
closer for our guests also.
Oh, yeah.
We have guests, we can sit closer just.
Oh, come on in. Come on in. Ma'am, what platforms are you on?
Yeah, so YouTube.
YouTube.
Primarily I have a podcast.
Fantastic. So primarily it sounds like, yeah, YouTube, podcast, pretty diversified. LinkedIn, no one's on Blue Sky, you know. No one, TikTok, anybody?
Live journal.
Electro, TikTok, anybody on TikTok? No. Yeah, yeah. Fortrain. OnlyFans. Yeah. I've seen you. Yeah. Big guy 000. Yeah. All right, but the whole point about building a personal brand is finding a platform. Doesn't matter which one, right? Blue Sky. Big guy 000. It's starting on a platform and actually building a personal brand. And why is that? We are in a world where people start not to trust like the mainstream media, right? So there's a whole narrative, oh, I don't trust CNN, BBC, because they have different incentives, which is somewhat true, right? They want you to see what they want you to see. So you want to own your audience. Two, when you're building a product, when you're building whatever you're building, right? You want your customers already there. You want your audience already there, okay? So you want to own it. So whether, again, it's OF, it's Twitter, it's X, it's email, even an email distribution list, it's very important to do. Something we talked about yesterday was, but when you're building a personal brand, it does take time, right? So how long have you been building it?
So I've been doing the podcast for a year.
A year.
And it's been pretty hard. And then I started Instagram. Oh my God.
Instagram's hard.
Fucking me up.
Yeah, it's really hard. It was much easier before, but these algorithms change, right? How long?
Competition is so rough.
Yeah.
It's easier than
TikTok is easier. How long have? 4 years. Okay, 4 years. 4 years. And do you think it's going okay or still?
I think I find my niche.
Okay.
So I work for my personal
Yeah.
position.
4 years to find a niche. Think about it. Maybe you found your niche already, but it takes time both to find your niche and to find your audience, right? And the reason why you have to start is because the more you post, let's say you pick one, don't do 5 at once, pick one. You focus on that. The more you post, the more you find your niche. You go in thinking you have one niche, and the more you do, the more you find out, maybe that's not my niche. Maybe I don't have that much to say. Or maybe I need to go even more nicher because I have more things to say. And I have things to say that other people don't have things to say about. And that's why you have to post. You have to keep posting, right, to find your niche and build an audience. Now, the early days, I mean, we've heard 1 year, 4 years. The early days are painful because when you're starting with 1 and when you get to 10 followers, you're like, yes, double digits. And then you go back down to 9 because somebody said, this is shit. I've helped this person long enough. Unsubscribe. And you're like, back to 9, right? Those early days are hard. Those early days are hard, right? But you have to keep at it. Again, 1 year, 4 years. Takes time.
And by the way, friends and family never support you.
Oh, yeah. They're the worst. They're the, no.
They are.
Oh, really?
No, in terms of Instagram and social media,
Okay.
they're just like, what are you doing? Like, just stop doing this shit. So.
Find a job.
You might, well, that's true, right? You might find it somewhat embarrassing, right? Your friends and family say, come on, man, that type of thing. Yes, right? Yes. When I started, I'm 45-year-old man, come on, man, like, really? But honestly, then you own your audience. So trust me, trust other people. Owning your audience is really key. And if you don't care about your audience, even if you don't care, that process, you will find your niche. You will find your voice. And that's probably more important than the followers. It's a close second. Having followers is important, but find that voice. Find out what you stand for. What do you have a view on? I think that's been
Your own style.
your own style. That's been the most important part.
Personal growth.
Yeah. Okay. So my challenge to everybody in this Startup 7 Summit is to work on their personal brand. Okay? So go out, whether, doesn't matter. Pick one platform and start posting. Posting videos. Like, today, I wake up, I have a hangover, music till 12, but whatever, right? I'm looking forward to this, or, a sport, something I learned yesterday. Work on that. Post. Can we commit to that? Everybody post once a day. We only have 5 more days. 4?
Yeah, I think
4 days. Okay. This guy's gonna post OF every single day, which is
after this.
yeah. After that, every day, 4 days, 4 more days, right? Post every day, whatever platform, and give their view. Okay. Let's all commit to that and work on it. In fact, everybody in the circle, this is squad 2, follow each other as well. Follow this guy on his platform, right? So she's on Instagram. Yeah. Follow big guy 0000. So, follow her on Instagram, follow him on YouTube, right? And that way we also boost our numbers and help each other out. This is the perfect place to do it. You have so many people trying to help each other out. This is the perfect place. Everybody, let's promise to do that. Can we do that? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. All right, good. Just like FTT, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I think those are kind of the three principles, if you will, right? So first thing is wealth. How do you think about wealth and money? How do you think about travel identity? And the third thing is about personal branding. Work on those things. I think it'll send you good stead going forward in this new age of multipolar geopolitics and AI. So that's pretty much it. I didn't want to take too much time. It won't be an hour. But for those that weren't here in the beginning, so this will be on YouTube. So you can, it's the automated TV. No, sorry, not automated, the automated. It's automated TV. So you can see the YouTube film. I wrote a book, and whoever has the best question, I will gift a book. Okay, so now it's time for questions. If anybody has questions.
What's your favorite color?
This is gonna be the worst question.
I do have a question.
Okay, my favorite color. Yeah, I don't know. Green, yeah, green. I don't think I have one. Changes every day. Yeah.
Depending on the mood.
Sorry, yellow. Yellow. FTT. Yo health. Man, they gave us money, right? Come on, man. Come on. Yo health. This is so bad. They're gonna ban me. Hopefully they don't watch the video. Yes, sir.
How many percent of equity should founder take to himself?
Different varying formulas. I've seen basically 50-50 of whatever available equity is there. Let's say it's two, right, founders, and they do 50-50. There are some arguments which is one person should have slightly more, like 51, 49%. At the end of the day, right, like it's a long-term relationship. There's something that I learned in business school is basically if you split something and you split 80-20, it actually seems fairer than if you split 51-49. Because if it's 51-49, it's like, why that 1%, right? If it's 80-20, then it's clearly, okay, maybe I put more money in and I'm more experienced, right? If it's 50-49, it's like, you couldn't just do that 1%, make it even, right? So it starts breeding discontent, right? So I would say my personal philosophy is try to be fair and try to split generously across founders because they're your friends for life, right? And I'd rather not create issues. You'll hear lots of different versions, right? Some people will say take more, some people will say give it all away. For example, the Huawei founder is famous. He only has like 2% or 1%. Everything else is owned by nobody. He has no outside investors. He is owned by employees, right? So you ultimately have to do something fit for you and what you think is fair and for the people that are there. Good question, though.
You said that they are co-founders are friends for life, but
No, not friends for life. Sorry. Did I say friends for life?
I think.
Okay. Okay. Long-term relationship, yeah.
Okay.
May not be friends.
Yeah.
But you finish your question first, sorry.
I wanted to ask, do you
Yeah.
believe that there are friends in business, or is it just? Yeah, it's all business. It's good for both of you.
Okay. That's a good. So I thought that was a good question. Now you're the winning. You were shit with the color, and then you came back up. So you're here a little bit. You're both even. You're both even.
I'm 51%.
So the question is, can you be friends, right, with your business partners? Yes or no, right? I've seen things work out. I've seen things don't work out. I think it's very tough. I think, and sometimes, for me, the worst is when you have a business with a friend, and it's business, right? But then he or she has to move on. For me, right, personally, that person has to move on, right? Whatever. If that person said, "Oh, I need a better salary," or you know, I'm married now. I need to focus on a different phase in life. For me, that's painful because we were together. We're a team. Now you have to leave. That for me, and that type of event, it's happened to me once or twice, is for me the event where it will feel the worst. So I think to answer your question, I think it can be friends, but obviously business as well, and I think that's the balance, and it's hard. I don't think there's a right or wrong
So
answer.
it's easier to start an investor or co-founder who you have like similar views on business, not different, or do it alone.
So the question is like, is it better to start with business with people that have similar values in business or alone? But even ideas change. For example, if your business partner gets married, once you get married, things do change. Once you have a family, things change. People change. It's not bad. It is what it is. That's life. So I think it's making sure you have a healthy balance, making sure you think of the larger picture. So if your friend is married and say, look, I want to get out of my business, the only thing you can say is, look, congratulations, you found your love of your life. You know, that's the more dignified way. I could have said, oh man, you abandoned me. Oh, fuck you. Is that the right thing to do 10 years later, right? You marry somebody, I wish you get divorced. You don't want to say that, right? You try to be dignified. There's no right, wrong. I think you just have to have a good balance. Winning. So, yes, sir.
In the early stage startups, I think we have many guys
Yeah.
on that stage. So in terms of forming the teams,
Yeah.
which option should we consider as a kind of better solution? Should we try to find money and hire guys, or maybe we should kind of find guys for working for free and give them instead equity,
Yeah.
like without finding money?
I think you know that answer, right? So it's generally the latter. So not so good question, but still. It's usually better at equity. I like to compete on equity rather than money, because money, somebody else gives more money, they will go, right? But people still need to live, so I'm not saying don't give any money, but equity plus money, that's the way I would do it.
And how much equity is kind of okay?
Depends, right? Depends on when they come in, right? So the first couple of people, right, could be up to 5%, and that's a lot, right? And then it goes down from there. Yeah, and it depends if engineer or business guys, right? Engineers get more, business guys get less. Give all the equity to ChatGPT, right?
OpenAI.
Yeah, or OpenAI, right? Save all the equity for yourself. Just pay the $20. There was a question there, yes, sir. You first.
In this time, what is the best financial pillow that people should have?
I believe that Bitcoin, but at 1 to 3%, right? 1 to 5, let's just say. That should be some investment. You said, sorry, what you said with financial pillar? Pillow. I think 1 to 5% Bitcoin. But the rest of it should be, honestly, in my opinion, yourself. You believe in yourself. So you invest in yourself. You always train more, build your personal brand, learn, if you're a dev, you learn language, and then build equity. But that equity is a derivative of your skills. So you should always invest in yourself and then get equity or get cash and do multiple jobs or multiple things or advisory, get lots of stuff. But that's still a derivative of you believing in yourself and backing yourself, investing constantly in yourself. Investing in yourself there's only 2 types of investments I think are important. Will bring the most value. Investing in yourself and investing in your family. Everything else doesn't matter, honestly. those are the two things that will give you the best return and also long-term value, right? Little girlfriends, if you don't want to marry her, don't invest in her. Are you married? No. Okay. Do you have a girlfriend? No. Oh, okay. All right.
Happy guy.
Yeah, happy guy. That's all right. You can invest in yourself.
Can I ask something?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
For example, for success, we define like the base, discipline for the day, and consistency for life. Like if you are disciplined in day and the days are making you more powerful, disciplined days. But the philosophy of money, I think, is different from other things. Like you need to be very careful to keep it very healthy, not to lose some moral and emotional parts of yourself that will keep you alive.
Yeah.
Like not to lose yourself.
Yeah.
So, what base you can advise? What architecture or ecosystem of mind you can advise
Wow. Okay.
to gain healthy, like financial mindset?
Yeah. Tough question. So the question, if I interpret it right, is like, what type of mindset can you keep to give yourself, I guess, the best opportunity to make money, but also have a
And
great
stay
life
healthy.
and stay
Yeah.
healthy? Yeah. That's actually kind of the subject of my next book. There's a Chinese philosophy called, there's a Chinese book called Tao Te Ching. Does anybody know that?
Yeah,
The Tao, yeah, the way.
and Kodawari,
Yeah.
Kaizen,
Yeah.
and so on.
So that's, I wanted to kind of update it and talk about it. But aside from that, I think the mindset is, oh gosh, I think being flexible. Being flexible. So one thing in the Tao, I actually didn't bring the book, right? It's like what Bruce Lee says, right? Be like water. Have you ever seen that clip, right? Be like
sure.
water.
Yeah.
Water flows and crashes. It goes through the cracks. Goes through anything hard. But it just flows.
shapeless.
Be shapeless. Be formless, right? Be like water. And I think it's roughly the same thing. Life will crush you. Life will have stuff. There's the war. I understand that. You have to keep going. You have to keep flowing. You have to be flexible. Another thing that is an important part of the question is the reason why I say water and why I think why the Tao is important is because also part of what the Tao says is be like water. Water doesn't feel sorry for itself. Water just is. Right? A rock just is. It doesn't say I'm a rock and I'm just standing there all day. A tree doesn't go, oh. Water just is. And I think part of that is just is, right? So, what I mean by that, if unfortunate things happen, you just flow. You don't feel sorry for yourself. Oh man, a rock fell on my head. It is what it is. You just flow, right? You know, I think the worst is when you start feeling sorry for yourself. Why me? Why me? Right? So, my mother passed away when I was very young, when I was 16, right? So I learned these lessons very early on. When your mother passed away when you're 16, you don't know. First, you don't know why. Why? You never think, why me, right? 16-year-old, I didn't do very much. But you feel not guilty, but you feel sad. A mom is a big part of someone's life. You feel sorry, you feel depressed, right? But you have to keep flowing, keep flowing. That's what she would have wanted. She doesn't want a son who's what I'm gonna do in life, right? Feel sorry. No, keep flowing, keep going. So the worst thing I think is feeling sorry for yourself. And just remember, water doesn't feel sorry for itself. It just goes. Good question. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yes, yeah.
So you mentioned the word freedom in your story.
Yeah.
What's actually freedom is for you? What's your definition?
My definition of freedom. So the question is, what is freedom for me? Freedom for me means the ability and opportunity to make the choice with at least external impediments or difficulties. So freedom to, for example, I've got 2 kids. To some degree, I'm not totally free because I can't always just go somewhere, come here, spend a week, right? It's more difficult. I have to look for people to help out. My wife's helping out and stuff. Those are my constraints. I chose a family. Those are my constraints. But within those constraints, I have the freedom, and I chose that path. Freedom, and that's why I say a lot about now is the perfect time to build a startup, because you have ChatGPT as your co-founder, OpenAI. Sam Altman is your co-founder. On your pitch deck, I challenge somebody to put Sam Altman as like their co-founder on a picture when it comes to the team slide. But freedom, when you're building it, it's like you don't need VCs to fund your business. You don't need angel investors because your customers are. You can do it if you want it, but you have the freedom to choose if you don't want it. You don't want to be forced to do it. For me, that's freedom. It's a choice to do something. I choose to have a family. It is a constraint. There are things that I cannot do, but I chose that. Yes. Right there. I think he was there first. Yes.
So a lot of startups are being failed because of choosing wrong co-founders or
Sure.
wrong team. So what do you think? What should we care the most when you are choosing the
Yeah.
co-founder to establish a new startup?
Through all my experience and listening and seeing, honestly, it's like marriage. And what I mean by that is, you have to be very careful. You have to think that they have the same values, but also people change. Even if you're married, people change. So you have to go in open-minded, try to do the best thing that you can, but things might change. So I don't, it's a feeling, I think. It's a feeling, both values, desires in life, and try to do the best thing that you can going forward. So what I mean by that is, when you have the same values, yeah, at least the starting point is the same. And then whatever happens, inshallah, as they say, inshallah, right? Yes, sir.
Okay, as you already know, in today's AI and everything, so startups are like kind of exaggerated.
Sure.
And what do you think? Is there a place for honesty in modern business world?
Oh, I see.
World?
Sorry. So the question is a fantastic question. You're getting up there. Is honesty important in modern life, in modern business life? If you take a look at Trump, oops. Honestly, I've seen so many different types of leaders, right? Some are honest, some are liars, some are cheats, some are good. And actually, some can be the same person. So one person can be like super good to kids and like a big cheat, whatever, right? So I think it's yes. There is a place for honesty, but that's your value. And so you should do it if that's important to you. But if it's not important to you, or you, then you got to do what you need to do. I've seen so many different types, and I've seen honesty in different ways as well. So it's very difficult to say that. If it's important to you, you should pursue that. Ma'am?
Question is about this question.
You already had 2 questions. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I understood your point of view.
Yeah.
To be like water and
Yeah.
like to know like what's coming is good or bad, but I can handle that because
Yeah.
I'm water and I don't have a form
Yeah.
like that. But I want to disagree with you
Sure.
because in this today's world,
Yeah.
I think being
Stable.
and being like a rock
Mm.
is better
Mm.
than being like a water.
Mm.
Because I mean, rock is the hardest material
Mm.
for a reason.
Mm.
Because it can handle the situation
Mm.
and still have a form.
Mm.
So in that sense, I think in this capitalist era, for example,
Mm.
being like water means you're just losing.
Mm.
Being like rock
Mm.
means you're gonna better
Mm,
and with having some form. So
mm.
I wanna listen to your
Sure. So the question was, yeah, it's actually water sucks, rock is better. I think I can understand why you would say that. Um, I can understand why you say that. I think things are moving too fast. Again, the technology piece, and I think the geopolitics, that being more flexible to move is probably better. Now, like everything, being water, but being lots of water, so you have some form is also good, right? So don't be a drop that goes everywhere. Be like a big wave, right? That has some form and go. So have some stability, whether it's family, finances, that type of thing. But I think my overarching point is still have that flexibility to go because of all the moving currents in life. Yeah.
Water can be ice too.
It's like,
Whatever can be ice too. Oh, there you go. Water can be ice too. Oh.
it's like discipline.
Yeah. Okay. That's
It's like discipline and motivation. Always fighting with each other.
always fair. You know, the reason why I like this book in Tao Te Ching is like it's anyway, you'll see, but it's always like Chinese philosophy is about two opposite things in the same sentence, and usually like how does that work? You know, yeah, but that's how life is. You can be both honest and a liar at the same time, and you're like, how? Honest liar. Can you be an honest liar? Yeah, yin yang. Exactly, the yin yang. You can be both hard and soft at the same time, and soft within hard and hard within soft.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? So, you know, tomorrow I do the martial arts, right? Everyone's welcome to join at 8 a.m., 8:30. But there's something I was saying today, right? Within stillness, there is movement. Within movement, there is stillness. That's the two different ideas. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Within movement, when you're moving, you keep still inside. Everything's moving around you, right? You keep calm, right? So that within movement, there's stillness. But within stillness, there's also movement. Your thoughts, your ideas, right? Your energy, your awareness that things are moving. So both things operating at the same time. Ladies first. Sorry.
So my question is, whenever we're starting anything, let's say a personal brand or
Yes,
working
ma'am.
on a startup, for
Yeah.
example, we start with an initial high
Mm.
and a lot of motivation,
Yeah.
and then things don't really go fast, right? And then we go through the valley of disappointment or
Right.
standing fever effect, I think
Yeah.
it's called. And so like there's a place when you're in the dark,
Yeah.
and it's very hard to move.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Has that happened to you in any of your startups
Right.
or podcasts or whatever you're doing? And
Yeah.
how do you overcome that?
So the question was like, you know, makes yeah, when you're starting your channel, you have 10 subscribers, you're like double digits or 100, and you get back to double digits. How do you go through the disappointment? I draw at that point. I draw on my army experience, and in the army, you know, they basically teach you. They don't teach you very much in the army. What they do teach you is just keep going. Just keep going.
Even if you're not motivated, even if you feel like shit.
Motivation comes from yourself. So there's a saying that we used to have, right? You manage your own morale. So so every soldier should manage their own motivation, right? A good soldier, shitty soldiers, I can't do it. Good soldiers manage their own motivation, and good soldiers show up and are motivated. I know at certain times you don't feel like it. When you do that, it's okay. It's normal. Take an hour, 2 hours, right? Go to the sauna, go get a massage. I do, right? Go to the beach, whatever. You need that time for yourself, but only allow that time, right? That time. I can answer that question, and also in a different way, right? So when my mother passed away when I was, 16, I said, I'm gonna allow my time to grieve this time. Next week or 2 weeks, whatever, I have to go back to school. Life has to continue. And I said that's the time when I stop grieving. And so I think it's okay to open that space and allow time to not be motivated, be aware of those feelings, It's important to be aware of those feelings. Learn and deal with it, but also know it has to end. And to draw another example, it's like kids. When you have kids, even if you're disappointed, you still have to go with them. But you can't. And that for me is kind of the analogy. You still have to go in time. So you may give your kid to a friend, say, I need my time. I need my time. But then, certain time, you have to bring your kid back because it's your kid. Right? Sir.
Yeah. My question will be.
Ladies first, of course. Oh, okay. Better. Ladies, we're a very polite group here. Are you guys like working together or something? Like, let's just.
We're just living together. I just agree to disagree.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
Freedom.
Yes.
It's not only physical condition, it's psychology
100%.
condition. You can be in a prison, but you can feel so better. It's not connected only with
Right.
choice.
100%.
You can't choose something, but you can feel free by yourself.
Yeah. So she disputed, but I think it's kind of the same. She was saying, agree to disagree to agree, or yeah, yeah, to one hand, yeah, yeah. So she was saying freedom is not just physical; it's emotional. And I agree with you. It is. It's being controlled. So one analogy I used was in the army. You know, one thing that they always taught us, right? So when you're in formation, you have to stand still. Right? You stand still. And
Accept the life.
yeah, you accept. Well, not just accept. You stand still, right? Any type of movement, they'll say, do push-ups. But I was like, haha, I can still move my finger. You know, I can move my eye. I didn't say that, right? But I thought, yeah, I can move my toe, right? So you don't own me, right? You can yell at me, but I still have my mind. I still have control. I have freedom. So you're right. Physical, it starts with the emotion.
I don't think that is more important.
It's not more. It's the intention and the internal control.
Maybe 80% psychology condition.
Probably even more, because everything starts from the internal, and then the physical is whatever. So I disagree that it's 80%. Disagree more.
Freedom
Yeah.
in your thoughts means prison. Because you don't have freedom in action. You're a prisoner in your mind. There's a clause right? Well, if we're talking about international law, there is
Freedom is prison.
freedom of thought, but
Yeah.
it's like a prison. You don't have freedom of action.
Freedom of action. That's supposing if you don't have freedom of action and you only have freedom of thought. If you only have. Yeah, that's probably an extreme case. That's probably extreme case, but yeah. That's
But
true.
I think it's not 100% like that, taking into consideration the psychology of samurais, that freedom is not that you have the ability to do what you want, but the ability to do what you must do. And it kicks off many psychologies that confuse people. And it helps to make sense, make point in your life, and make value. I think that's 100% helping to change the mindset of freedom.
Actually, both are good points. This is actually a very deep philosophical. Because because there's like within freedom there's constraint, and that's kind of true.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
put the example of samurai in the average human person life experience. I wouldn't do that.
It depends how stable you are willing to be.
I'm talking about the qualities. I'm talking about the
Okay, we will discuss this later.
Yeah.
We need to ask him.
Yeah. No, but to summarize on that point, I mean, within freedom there's constraint, and within, be very Chinese again, within constraint there's freedom, and it's that balance, right? There's that balance. Sometimes it's 99-1%, sometimes it's 80-20%, right? Yeah, I think that would be Okay, let's do. It's party time.
Crypto question.
So 10 minutes. So it's party time. No, let's do 5 minutes, and then you can put your rave gear, whatever, right? Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask?
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah. So 5 minutes, 3 questions, right? One. Oh, yeah, no, he had it. Yes, of course. Yeah, 4 questions.
Okay.
Fedor,
thank you.
sir.
My question will be: do you believe in a single global currency?
Ah,
And
wow.
if you say yes, can you make your own forecasts when
Yeah.
it will happen and
Right.
what have to happen to become such situation?
Okay. The question was, do you believe in a single global currency?
Yes, one.
I think that experiment didn't work. So the dollar. Hold on, actually, sorry. Historically, that has really never worked. So before the dollar was the pound, before the pound there was either the Dutch or the Swiss. I think it was the Dutch. It was one of the, yeah. So there were a couple trials, and not trials, but predominantly what people use, right? It comes and goes. So I think there would be periods where there would be like a single currency, but obviously now we can see that, I mean, my country, China, is trying to not have dollar, be transaction yuan or whatever the local currency is. Everyone's discussing stable coins, right, in their own country as well. So I think we're retreating from that global standard. I don't think that global standard really does work. Historically as well, there's just rises and falls. And there's also some internal dynamics, right? Once your currency becomes a currency for a global bit, there's also a tension with domestic economy as well. It's very tough to maintain. Yeah.
I think when we have to explain the space, we have to create Earth dollar or something else.
Yeah. Maybe at some point. Yeah. Maybe 20, 30 years, maybe. Didn't you ask the question already? Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
No, you asked it.
I did.
Everybody else.
Oh yeah, it did. Everybody else. So okay, that's not fair. Yes, sir. You first.
So actually, recently I was thinking of this idea. So basically, how we build a startup, we start with an idea, then gather a team, and then try to get funding,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
But usually we all say that the team is the most important part because there is lots of money and there are lots of ideas.
Sure.
So what if we start from the opposite point? What if we, instead of starting with the idea, we start with a team, just try to find a great team, and then kind of generate some great idea and then start with that.
So
Have you seen such examples?
100%,
Work or-
lots. So the question was, some people say start lights first. Woo. People say start. Actually, this is nicer. People say start idea first or team first or whatever. I've heard idea first. I've heard team first. I've heard money first. I think you just have to find whatever works. So if you have a great idea, go with the idea first. But if you have a great team, go with the team and then find lots of different ideas and just iterate and find stuff that works and doesn't work. Whatever works, you keep going. Whatever doesn't work, you kill it and you say the next one. So I've seen lots of different approaches. It's basically, I think the best approach is finding whatever advantage you have. If you have a really great team, that's your orientation. If you have a really original idea, go for that. Yeah. Last question. Big one. Big Daddy 00. Oh, okay. And then we'll end with a lady, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Your question?
Yeah, so my question is actually about the crypto. You several times suggested to have at least a small chunk of Bitcoin in our portfolio.
Yeah.
But I always wondered, why do people trust Bitcoin this much?
Sure.
Because there are so many mysteries around it. We
Yep.
don't know who Satoshi
100%.
is.
Yep.
We have better blockchains, like
Yep.
Ethereum, for example,
Sure.
the second one.
Sure.
It's faster.
Yep.
It's smart contracts, right?
Yep.
So my question to you is, why do you think people believe so much in Bitcoin, and
Yeah.
why do you
Yeah.
personally believe it?
So the question, yeah, why Bitcoin? Why do I believe in Bitcoin? I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. For people that are in crypto, I'm not a maxi. I'm a realist. I try to understand what is the truth. What is, if you haven't noticed this talk, I try to think about what's the truth and things. I think a couple things on Bitcoin. One is the narrative that it's digital gold.
Okay.
So I think last generation gold was considered the safe harbor of investments, right? So if you have nothing, you just want to preserve your cash. You don't want to put in cash, but you want to put in gold. So I think for the younger generation, that narrative has slightly changed to digital gold. I think the second point is the network effect, in the sense that there's enough. Yes, there are big
People that believe it.
but also collect it. I know the whales own a big majority of it. The U.S. government does own a majority of it, not a majority, but a lot of it. But still, there's enough distributed owners, somewhat. Again, there's high concentrations of it, but again, it's quite distributed, right? Even the 0.00001. I actually think the third, and actually might be the most important, is Sakamoto. I think the fact that it's an anonymous founder, some people say the CIA, some people say the Chinese government, who the hell knows?
And he never moved single Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's also very
Yeah, I think the fact that it's anonymous actually is the thing. Because, why do I say that? What you see, what I find disappointing in crypto overall was the reason why crypto people came around was this belief, libertarian belief that existing structures and infrastructure was bad. We need to invent a new world order. We know better. We're moral, that type of thing. You take a look at Sam Bankman-Fried, Arthur Hayes. Are they moral? And once you have that much money, it's hard. You might start up being moral, but once you have that amount of money, you make compromises. You really do. It takes a very strong person. Let's just say that. I think the fact that it's Sakamoto and he's anonymous allows him not to be bothered by people saying, oh, yeah, Bitcoin, oh, you're on Forbes because you're the richest person, whatever, right? So I think that actually ironically helps.
I mean, what most people don't realize is
Oh.
that the blockchain is actually the revolutionary technology,
Exactly.
not the Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. It
It's
is.
just something that works on blockchain.
That's right. Exactly. That's why it's like multiple blockchains. Why do we need that? We just need one. Ma'am, you are the last one. The prettiest out of except you. All the ladies are pretty. So.
My question is
Thank you.
on your very diverse background.
Okay.
You've been in fertility startups.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
You are doing a lot of teaching,
Yeah.
many other things.
Yeah.
So when you look back, when you sit back and see the whole picture,
Yeah.
what was that one thing that is passing through all these experiences, that red line that was always there?
Sure.
And where did you learn your biggest lesson?
Yeah.
Because maybe in our where they deconstruct you
Sure.
in order
Yeah.
to reconstruct
Yeah.
you somehow. This is what they try to do with
Sure.
crypto. So I'm really curious to learn
Yeah.
what was there always.
Yeah.
What did you gain during your very interesting and diverse
Yeah.
path?
So the question is there one thing that, connects everything that I've done? And I used to think that there was. So when you were asking me, I was thinking maybe Army. But did I join the Army because I chose it or because it was meant for me, right? Did I really have a choice, right? Was it already I had the personality to go for it? The older I get, I actually do think that the more I actually do believe in fate. We all have a path. There are signs. You can choose not to go. It's a path, right? It's not saying it's a highway and there's like gates. You're locked in. It's like a stone path here. You can go off. But when you do go off, you see a stone, you kick over a stone, you're like, it's a little bit harder here. I should walk the nice path. So I believe, actually, as I get older, there is that path. You're free to go off that path. But there are little things in life where you're kind of like, I don't think that's the right way. Okay, I'll go back to that. And then that's been, so part of what I continue to do is I increase my surface area, so that, personal branding and all that. So that surface area for things to come so I can see the path wider, and then I can kind of find my path and see what feels right and works. I honestly think intuition does work. There are times when you're like, I shouldn't go down that alley. It doesn't feel quite right. It's important to feel that. You don't have to do it. You can still do it, right? But there is a little voice inside, I think. And learning to trust that and listen to it, I think is really important. Okay, that's a great question. So, all right, thank you very much for everybody.
Great answer.
The final gift for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
From our team and Sevang Sunny.
Oh, right.
25.
Oh, right.
A hat, T-shirt, and hoodie.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
YouTube.
thank
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
gifting us
Thank you.
This fantastic hour
Right.
that we talked with you, and this was really incredible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, we still have the matter of the book. So, it's a hard. I forgot all the questions already. Jesus. I really liked shit. Did someone leave? Yeah. Let's start with that one. Yeah, I enjoyed your question. I think you asked another question in the end. Your second one was very good. So this is your book. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and I've got one more for team leader. Oh, jeez. So this is actually for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for your leadership and leading your squad, and that's not an easy task. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, no, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Very great.
Cheers. Thanks.